Welcome to the Private Lending Insider Podcast, where we offer education, expert guidance, and access to reliable private capital, empowering real estate investors to successfully develop affordable and workforce housing. As a result of the education and expert guidance shared on the Private Lending Insider Podcast, real estate investors, developers, and entrepreneurs gain fair access to reliable private capital to fund their profitable investment properties with greater ease, enabling them to earn the income they desire and live the lifestyle they really want. For continuing education and access to private capital, visit chamblissmortgagecapital.com after the podcast. Here's your show host, founder, and CEO of Chambliss Mortgage Capital, Mr. Randy Chambliss, the private money lender expert.
Happy Thursday to you. I'm Randy Chambliss, the private money lender. Listen, welcome to the Private Lending Insider Podcast, episode number 8. Listen, I am super excited here. We have a brother that's going to be blessing you all tonight. So make sure you have something to write with, something to write on. If you're watching the replay, make sure you hit an 8, right? Just type an 8 in the comments. But listen, I don't want to waste no time. Let me share a little bit of information. Like from starting his life in Nigeria, without parents and in a third world country, lacking running water, to becoming a highly successful entrepreneur, transformational teacher, and top network marketer who has built a global, like I want you to catch this, a global organization impacting tens of thousands across multiple continents and generating tens of millions of dollars in annual revenue. As a multiple six-figure annual income earner, Mr. Wilkins, you heard that right, Mr. Jarrod Wilkins has been recognized as one of the top 1% producers in his company, as well as a documented 7-figure income earner in the network marketing professional. As a professional, Mr. Wilkins isn't just an entrepreneur. He's a transformational teacher. That's a difference. Redefining personal growth and empowerment. He explains that while motivational speaking inspires action, transformational teachers create awareness of where people are today and why they act the way they do. But more importantly, it empowers them to envision and become something greater. Listen, as a highly sought after speaker, Mr. Wilkins commands and packs audience international, from conventionals to seminars, leaderships, to podcasts like this, right? So without further ado, Mr. Jarrod Wilkins, are you there, sir?
Absolutely. Randy, can you hear me okay, sir?
I hear you loud and clear, good brother. Yes, sir.
Well, it's so good to be on here to share space with you today and really just kind of talk through some things. I know we've got a lot of people all over the world that will be listening to our conversation on this podcast tonight. So I'm honored. I'm excited to be able to do it.
Absolutely. So listen, I am absolutely humbled. The listeners, going to get a lot of value out of here. So I gave the audience kind of like a quick snippet of background of where you are today. But obviously, you can't have the success that you've been having, you and your wife, Miss Portia, unless you had to, one, make a couple of decisions early on in your life and to be able to learn some lessons. So kind of take us back from where you first started and bring us through where you are right here today, sir.
Well, it's a quick story. I'm nobody special and nothing special, but this is episode 8, and 8 stands for new beginnings. And how fitting to have a conversation about my beginning when it comes to being in sales, being in marketing, being in entrepreneurship. I was just like so many people. I was against being in direct sales. I was against being in network marketing because of what somebody influential in my life had actually told me, which was my father. And so I literally came to be introduced to this profession, or to the profession of direct sales, coming to save a friend of mine who was about to get duped into becoming a part of a company in the space. And so, it was a telecommunications company, one of the older companies that's still around today. And they've done, I think they're the largest seller of long distance and telecommunication services in the world. But nonetheless, I never got started with that company. But that was one of the forums, Randy, that planted the seeds for me, because I went to an event to go save my friend. And at that event, I met a man. Isn't that how story goes all the time? I met a man, all right? I met a man and I saw this guy on stage, and he was very polished. He was very professional. He was talking about, what they had been able to do, what they had been able to accomplish in his wife. He was dressed very professional. And although I didn't get started with that company, I believe that event started my journey down the path of being an entrepreneur. And it was a few years later that I ended up getting involved with a company. And I got involved with that company because I met another man. And this man became my mentor in my first 12 years as an entrepreneur in the direct sales space. He really taught me the business. He taught me not network marketing. He taught me marketing and networking. And those are the two skills you really need when you're building any business. You need to learn how to network. You need to learn how to market. That's why so many people struggle initially being successful in business. They don't know how to network because they've been programmed, like many of us, don't talk to strangers. Well, how you gonna network when you are having the conscious thinking paradigm saying don't talk to strangers? Well, you don't even want to talk to strangers offline, Randy, or online, and that's where people struggle with business. And so from that process of meeting that man in 2004, I didn't start making a whole lot of money. As a matter of fact, Randy, I didn't even earn $100,000 in commissions or in profit. Not my first year. I didn't earn it my second year. I didn't earn it my third year, fourth year, fifth year, or sixth year. Matter of fact, I didn't even earn $100,000 for my first 6 years combined. Wow. And I really want to catch that. All right. So I know you've interviewed some other rock stars, and you'll be interviewing a lot more on your podcast. And you're going to hear a variety of stories. You're going to hear some stories of people that came into business, into entrepreneurship, whether it's real estate, whether it's network marketing, or they got involved in insurance, or got involved in the credit game, or whatever it was. And maybe they got to six figures their first, 30 days or 90 days or 6 months. And those stories exist. I just wasn't one of those stories. Right, okay. Right. My story I took the slow path. And this is what people have to understand. Just because it's slow doesn't mean it won't grow.
I like that.
Don't mean it's going to last. All right. So slow doesn't mean it won't grow, and fast doesn't mean it'll last. And so I was 6 years in business, going to the events, going to the seminars, going to the workshops, doing the sessions, prospecting, networking, going to listening to audios, listening to information, learning, sharpening my axe. And I believe those 6 years were my preparation years to start the process of mastering the skills and the mindset that I needed so I can actually be successful. Because after that, what ended up happening, Randy, was 2009. I started with a company, and this company was selling, we're selling a coffee product in 2009. And I never forget, things were not so great for me financially. I was 26 years old. I had just lost my job because I believe there's a difference between a job and a career. A career and a job sound the same or similar, but they're really not the same. A job, people call it a dead end. They call their jobs dead end jobs, meaning there's no aspect of the job that gives you what a career does. A career gives you three things. Number one, potential. Number two, progress. And number three, promotion. And a lot of times we confuse a pay increase with a promotion. No, if you're making $50,000 a year and they increase you to $50,000 a year, but you're still in the same role, well, you're still going to be right versus a career path. And I was working a job at the time, and they ended up letting me go. 2009, I get started with this company. 2 months behind on my mortgage. I had just gone into foreclosure on an investment property I had bought. So I've got a foreclosure on my credit file at the time. I'm 2 months behind on the mortgage I was living in the home I was living in.
Wow.
was up for foreclosure. I'm going through a repo on one of the cars that we had at the time. Just had my daughter Chandler. She's now 15, but this is 2009. So just had her February 2009, and things were not looking good at all. I had gotten a phone call about that business a year prior in September 2008, and I said no to it. I said no, I didn't want to be involved because I had failed at the other ones. I hadn't made money, hadn't made anything substantial, so I was looking for a real career. I needed something I can really sink my teeth into, and I didn't have the network. I just in my mind, I'm like, I don't have what I think is required to be successful as an entrepreneur. And so I was looking for a good, safe, secure career. And so I'm at the time, I got a PhD, public high school diploma. And so I'm applying like crazy, man. Monster, hot jobs, career builder, all of them were my friends, right? I'm sending in my resume, but this is 2008, 2009, when we're going through a recession in the US. And in the grand scheme of the world, we were going through what they call a global financial crisis because of the real estate market, because of what was going on in mortgaging and lending, specifically in the subprime market. And so I found myself in this interesting place where I got to provide for this daughter of mine and her mother, and I don't have the means to do it. And so I'll never forget, after submitting my resume so many times, I finally I'm doing interviews. At that time, we're doing phone interviews, and I got one oil and gas company. They called me, did the phone interview. He said, man, I love it. Love your energy. Love your experience. You've been in sales. Why don't you come on in for a follow-up interview in person? So I get in my car. I'm excited. I drive. I go to the follow-up interview, and the interview's supposed to be at 1:00. I get there at 12:30 because, to be early is to be on time, and to be on time is to be late. So I get there early. I'm sitting in the lobby at 12:30. 1:00 comes around. I'm already signed in. The interviewee doesn't come to get me. 1:30 comes around. I'm still sitting there. The lady in the front says, just give him a minute. He's still with some people in the back. He's meeting with somebody else in the back. I said, oh, no problem. I ain't got nothing else to do. This is that good, safe career that I'm looking for. Oil and gas. I'm in Texas. This is what I've been waiting on, It's got to be from on high. And so I'm waiting. Randy, 2:00 comes. 2:00. The meeting starts. The appointment's supposed to be at 1:00. It's 2:00. And he's still back there. 3:00 comes. And I see him walking out of his office with the guy that he had been meeting with. Come to find out, Randy, he had just offered the guy the job. That's why they're back there filling out information, talking, hit it off. I think they were had the same alma mater, went to the same school. Just that was his blessing. And he says, man, since you've been waiting here for so long, why don't you come out to the back with me and let's just talk and let's see if there's anything we can do together. So I going back in the office. I'm still poised because I've been reading the personal self-development books. I've been reading Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I've been reading The Strangest Secret. I have been reading Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. So all of those books had taught me to have a positive mental attitude. And so I had to practice this stuff now that this situation had presented itself to me. So I go back there. I'm still astute. I'm still fired up. I'm still positive. We go through the whole interview process. He said, man, you're very sharp, man. You're gonna have a prosperous future. Just not gonna be with us. I said, oh, no problem. I appreciate the interview and appreciate your time. I shake his hand and I leave out. I go get in my car. I'm riding dirty. I ain't got no insurance and I'm almost on E.
That's dirty.
Oh, I'm riding dirty, Doc. I'm riding dirty, but I got clean hands and a pure heart. But I
know that's right, brother. I know that's right.
So I get back to the house and I get a phone call from a business partner of mine. He says, hey, man, I talked to our former mentor about that company that we said no to a year ago. He says he says he will meet with us. I said, oh, okay. Let's meet with him then. I ain't got nothing else going. Let's meet with him. So that night, I'll never forget, Randy, we go meet with him at his house. We get there and we're talking, we're catching up on all the success that has happened. I ask him, hey, so how's business? He says, oh man, business is booming, man. He said, by my 6th month, starting from scratch, starting from zero, when I talked to you about it, my cash flow right now is about a little over $150,000 a month right now. I said, whoa. Oh, okay. I guess people are drinking that coffee.
Right.
So he ends up drawing out a business plan. Randy, we were talking so late and we didn't have a chance to order any food. So we had gotten some popcorn. He had some popcorn at his country club. And so we were using these napkins. Obviously, you're eating the butter popcorn, you use these napkins to wipe your hands. So he took literally one of the napkins that we used to wipe our hands, double folded it, took a Sharpie pen, and started to draw out a business plan of how I was going to get to $20,000 per month in income within 6 months. Now, Randy, I had never made $20,000 a month in direct sales or as an entrepreneur doing anything. I had never made $20,000 a month working a job. Randy, I had never even made $10,000 a month. So he's drawing out a plan for a person that had never produced those types of profits.
That part. That's right.
So I'm sitting there and we get down to the finality of it. And he says, you got to do this, 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 and this. And I said, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to do it. He says, all right, here's what we're going to do here. He says, there are 3 ways to get started in this business. $200 to get you started, $500 or $1,400. I said, okay, I can scrap up, if you give me a day, I can scrap up the $200. He said, oh, really? I said, yeah, just give me 24 hours. I'm gonna see if I can move some stuff around, but I'm gonna get started with that $200. He said, that's fine, but if you get started, Randy, with that $200, you can't work with me. No, you don't understand.
That's the whole purpose of I'm joining this.
Yeah, I said, no, you don't get it. I'm broke right now, and I know broke is a subjective term. Some people, if they make $100,000 for the month, they feel that they broke. I said, no, I'm broke for real. I ain't got it, I ain't got it, but I can go get it because I'm gonna see if I can borrow that $200. He says, no. I said, okay, if you give me 48 hours. I believe I can come up with the 500. He says, Jarrod, if you're serious and you want to work with me, a multimillionaire, you're going to come up with that $1,400, and it better not take you a whole day to do it. So,
wow.
I thought to myself, Randy, I said, if this does not work, it's going to be his fault, not mine.
Right.
So I went home that night. The next morning, I called my dad. I said, Dad, I'm behind on my mortgage. The other home investment property foreclosed on. The guy that I did the deal with was a guy you introduced me to, who's one of your friends. My lights are off. I don't even have $150 to pay my light bill. My daughter and her mother are staying at the grandparents' house right now because she's breastfeeding and we don't want the milk to spoil. So we took all of the milk that she had pumped, took her and my daughter to the grandma house. And so my dad said, well, how much you need? I said, just the mortgage payment for this month, and I'll try to figure out the rest. So he wired me $2,000. I took that $2,000 and I got started with that package. I didn't pay the mortgage.
Different mindset.
So now this gotta work, right? This is that faith talk we hear about often. This is that, hey, get rich or die trying conversations we hear about. Now I'm out there. I'm out there now. If this
the
don't
pressure
work,
is on, right?
Oh man, it's about to be on like a plate of neck ball. So I get started with that $1,400 pack, and I get back to the house, and I tell my daughter's mother what I'd done. She said, that's stupid. Should have paid the mortgage. What we gonna do? We about to get kicked out. She says, a real man would work a job at McDonald's to take care of his family.
That's deep, Jarrod. Wow.
Randy, I jumped out of that bed She was sitting up next to me. I jumped out of that bed. I ran to the bathroom, turned on the water faucet, jumped in the tub, laid in a fetal position, crying so she couldn't hear me with all the water.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I stayed in that tub so long that by the time I got out, she had already gone to bed.
Wow.
I did not get back in the bed with her because I did not want to be caught sleeping with the enemy. I went downstairs and got on that couch, and all I kept saying all night long is, I'll never be broke again. I kept repeating it. I will never be broke again. I said it for so long, my tongue was numb. I had tears coming down the side of my face. And you get them tears that slide down, they burn. I still feel the burn today. They were burning, man. It was like my heart had been broken. My spirit had been shattered. But I was affirming, I will never be broke again. I will never be broke again. I fell asleep saying that. I woke up the next morning, I'll never be broke again. And I kept saying it. I got my stuff together. I'll never forget, took my phone. I'm driving down the road. I called T-Mobile, got a phone. I got an extension on my phone for another couple of weeks. I went to a hotel, Randy. I didn't have the money for a hotel room, but I went to a hotel that we used to use to do events at this particular hotel here in Houston. It was a Marriott. I walk inside. They know who I am because we've come there many times before. I walked to one of the rooms where we would do the meetings that we would have every week. And I pulled the door and it was open. I said, good. I went into that meeting room, turned on the lights, plugged up my phone, took out a list of people that I had written down. I had about 127 names on a list of people. And I started making phone calls to those people because my mentor had told me he would do 4 meetings, 4 presentations for me to share this business and these products and services with the people from my network. And so I started making phone calls. I had 42 people tell me, yes, they would come to my event. Out of the 42, 27 of them showed up. Out of the 27, 13 of them got involved in business with me. My first week in that business, Randy, I made almost $3,000 from all the fast commissions and bonuses and all of that. By my 3rd month in the business, my check was over $8,000 for the month. By my 5th month in that business, my check grew to $20,000 for the month. That was January 2010. We kept running. We kept enrolling. We kept building. Within 9 months, I had cleared over $100,000. Within my first year, I made $117,000 in that business. My second year, I made $213,000. My 3rd year, I made $315,000. My 4th year, I made $432,000. I earned my first million by the time I was 30. And everything in my life changed after that. Not only my mindset, not only my skill sets, my belief set changed, my cars changed, my homes changed, my
zip code,
everything changed from that moment. And I can fast forward the tape now. We're in 2024, going into 2025. Randy, I have never been broke again since the day I laid on that couch and cried and declared, I will never be broke again. So that's my story, brother, and I'm sticking to it.
Man, oh man, that's an amazing story, and I appreciate this, and I'm speaking on behalf of all the listeners because that transparency means a lot. Because most people see certain mentors at a pinnacle in their career, but don't understand the journey that they had to go through. And oftentimes their journey was more painful than their current situation. And so when they hear that transformation that you have taken on, that's what means a lot from their transparency. So one, mindset. You touched on it a couple of times.
Yes.
You touched on a couple of books. If you had to go back and say, listen, from a scale of 1 to 10, 10 meaning that, hey, this is what I need to be working on first, my mindset, or should I be working on my skills? What would that be from a scale of 1 to 10?
Both will be a 10. You need to be working on both your mindset and your skill set. And the way you do it is through the books you're reading, through the audios you're listening to, and through the events you're attending. Books, audios, events. That's how you begin to recreate, to rediscover the greatness that's on the inside of you. Because everybody has it. It's just rediscovering it, because through life and through experiences, through challenges, through our childhood, we lose the very essence of who we are, and it's now crammed and jumbled into who we become as a result of our environment, as a result of our experiences. And so to rediscover and to recreate requires us to really start reading the right books, start listening to the right audios, and start associating with the right people at events.
Awesome. I love that. Now, we know there's a difference between that conscious mind and that subconscious mind. Tell me a little bit about how important it is in your life, in your journey, to be able to get those affirmations. Like you mentioned, I will never go broke again. I will never be broke again. How important reprogramming that paradigm and creating a new subconscious program?
Man, it becomes a religion, right? Specifically, what I mean by religion, it's your anchor. It becomes what I have to do daily. So, for example, for those of us that work out, we can tell when we've missed days or a week of working out. Whatever you do consistently, it becomes habitually. Whatever I do consistently becomes now a part of me permanently. So the idea is I want to do this so much so that it becomes permeated in my spirit. Whereas now it is subconscious. See, that word subconscious, it's a grammatical construct, Randy. Sub means below. Conscious means awareness. And so my subconscious is really the warehouse of truth for me. Whatever I believe as not a truth, but the truth is in my subconscious. So the programming that all of us have growing up creates a truth for us, or the truth for us. Whereas if you've been told you ain't gonna never be nothing, you just like your daddy who wasn't nothing, you know, black people ain't gonna make no money, or white people are racist, or, you know, women belong in the kitchen. If these are part of your programming, no matter how old you grow to, you very seldomly will grow up. You will only grow old. So your subconscious is what you have to consciously change. And the way you consciously change your subconscious is, number one, you have to become aware. You have to become aware of what you believe to be the truth. What do you believe is the truth about money? Some of us have bad money philosophies subconsciously. You know, money is the root of all evil. Money doesn't grow on trees. All rich people going to hell. You know, if that's a part of your subconscious programming, then your relationship with money will always be one where you repel it versus attract it. How do you feel about rich people? Oh, rich people need to pay more taxes, or rich people are evil. Somebody just went and shot the CEO of an insurance company because, oh, these rich insurance companies are taking advantage of Americans. And some people said, I have no empathy for that man losing his life. And you know what? That's their philosophy. That's the way they think. And so these are things that you've got to confront if you want to change. What is my subconscious around money? What's my subconscious around people? What's my subconscious around my chosen field of endeavor, whether it's the insurance field, whether it's the real estate field, whether I want to be an author? What do I truly believe in the warehouse of truth when it comes to what I'm doing and what I'm becoming? So you have to become aware. Number two, you have to, after you become aware, you have to accept what you're aware of.
Take personal responsibility, as I always say.
Take
personal responsibility.
Yes. Once you are now become aware of it, now you accept it. All right, you know what? I am lazy. Yeah, no, you got me. I'm lazy. You know, it ain't my mama, it ain't my daddy. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the prayer. I'm lazy. All right. So you go through that. Right. You got to accept. You know what? I am, man. You know what? I do be hating. No, I be hating. I be hating. I got a little hate in me. I need to really, man. I got to really. You just got to accept it. You know, I've been a hater. I have been a hater of people that are successful. And then thirdly, you recondition. The reconditioning aspect of it is becoming consciously aware of the things that you have to work on daily. For me, give you an example. Working out is easy. I've been working out most of my life, going to the gym. That's my anchor. I love it. Get on the treadmill, do some burpees, hit the weights. That's just what I do. You know what I had to start doing though? I had to become more conscious about what I'm eating. Why? My blood pressure shot up. I've got high blood pressure runs in our family on both sides of my family. So I had to become conscious about blood pressure. Why? Because it's the silent killer. It causes strokes. It causes heart attack. It causes so much stuff. My blood pressure has shot up. I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, I got to be conscious now. Now I'm aware. Oh, I'm aware it's high. I've got to accept that it's high. And then I contribute to it by what I'm eating. I'm not drinking enough water. I'm not sleeping. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm eating too much salt. I'm taking in too much sugar. You follow me?
Right.
And then the reconditioning now is becoming responsible to say, all right, I can't have fried chicken back to back now. Hold on. I can't have German chocolate cake and apple pie. Hold on. I can't.
Right.
I can't be doing all of it. I got to moderate this, right? Why? Because my ultimate goal is to get this blood pressure down. Why? So I can elongate my lifespan. So these are, I'm just giving you an example of things practically that you and I have to do and listeners have to do to change their life. Because as T. Harv Eker said, how you do anything is how you do everything.
That's right, man. That is amazing. And you know, as you was telling that story, a lot of people don't think about every area of their life. You have to program or reprogram that subconscious mind. And like you say, from a workout standpoint, you're not missing a beat, but just that little tweak in the eating habits, that was a habit that you had to recreate. Because oftentimes, like you're aware, we have it in the household, we have it in the family, but sometimes it's just the way we eat is passed down to generations.
Yes.
And so let's talk a little bit about the feeling aspect, right? Because you hear a lot of talk about the law of vibration, the law of attraction, affirmation, but oftentimes people miss that step that you have to actually feel that feeling as if it's already done. So step us through, like, what's a good example of something you have done or taught in your life, how somebody could actually visualize themselves, seeing themselves in the place that they want to be, and allowing their feelings to be there in the moment now.
Yeah, I think so many times people do not identify what causes a feeling. We don't even know why we feel a certain way. We think it's by happenstance. No, feelings are either drifted into or they're intentionally set. Let me say that again. Your feelings, you either drift into them or you intentionally set them. For example, you're married, you're dating, you got a spouse, significant other. You see them, your wife, your husband, as you're walking out the door. One example is you see him, all right, baby, I'll see you later on. Give him a kiss. Love you. And you run out the door. That's an okay feeling. Second example, see the same spouse. You about to run out the door before you leave. You stop, you go to him. All right, baby, I love you. And you hug them. 5 seconds. Grab their hand as you're leaving. Baby, I love you. And you kiss them. I'll see you later on tonight. And you walk out the door. Do you see the difference?
That's right. Absolutely.
Can you feel the difference?
Mm-hmm.
You feel it because it's intentional. It wasn't just drifted into. And so that's how you got to feel about what you're doing. You got to slow down to really intentionally set the atmosphere and the environment. And it starts with the first 10, 15 minutes of your day. You wake up in the morning, don't reach for that phone. No, if you're reaching for the phone or turn off the alarm, fine. But don't start scrolling and meet. No. Don't respond to no message. No. Don't start to. No. Why? I got to intentionally set my feeling for the day. So you get up, get out the bed, whatever it is, pray, go to the bathroom, do what you got to do, wash your face, brush your teeth. The first 10 minutes of my day, I'm priming. I'm priming my feelings. First 3 minutes is sitting in a place, is still. I'm maybe listening to some worship music or whatever it is, whatever you got to do. I'm just telling you how to set your feelings. My first 3 minutes is what I call my gratitude moments. I'm thinking about the proudest moments and experiences that I've been blessed to have in my life. Like 3 of the proudest moments. And you take a moment and you think about that in the morning. Like the proudest moments of my life, I'm thinking about it. I'm reliving them. Whether it's you getting that promotion, whether it's you buying that car, whether it's you serving in charity or ministry, whether it's you, saving your first $1,000, whatever that, you getting married, whatever those, think about it and be grateful for it. The next 3 minutes, I'm in prayer. Now I'm talking to God. I'm talking to the Most High. I'm talking to the Almighty. I'm praying and I'm thanking him for the ability to breathe without an oxygen tank. I'm thanking him I was able to wake up peacefully and sleep peacefully through the night without having any robbers or danger or fire start while I was asleep. I'm thanking him that I'm not waking up in the cancer ward, because there's some people that went to bed last night and woke up the next morning and their doctor gave them the news, you have cancer. I'm thanking him I'm not waking up in a burn unit or I've got the activities of my limbs. I've got my mind that's working, that's sharp, that's astute. I'm thanking him that I live in a country where we don't have bombs going off. See, these are things I'm doing. I'm priming my feelings. You understand? And in the next 3 minutes, I am affirming. I'm saying my affirmations. I'm so happy and grateful now that such and such and such. And I've got several of them. I do this every morning. I've been doing this for years. You follow me? And so I'm so happy and grateful now that this and this and this is happening. I'm so thankful, happy and grateful now that and I say the date of when that's going to be accomplished. Date stated. And after that, take that last minute to just let it all sit. Now I'm ready. Now I'm ready to deal with the day. Now I'm ready to not get through the day. I'm ready to get from the day. And so these are not just stage talk. This is how I live my life. And I'm telling you, it doesn't mean you won't face challenges. Doesn't mean it does not mean you will be perfect. Doesn't mean you won't have difficulties. It just means that when they come, you want to have deposited so much in your mental and in your feeling bank account that when life comes to test you, you got enough to cover the test.
I like that. Man, I love it. That's real deep. Man, I hope you guys are taking some good notes on the replay. Make sure you replaying this and share this with a friend, because somebody needs to hear this. And like Mr. Jarrod was saying, at the end of the day, people don't understand, how feelings are created. And you have to know without a shadow of doubt, your feelings is only responding to your thinking.
Yeah.
Your feelings is only responding to your thinking. It can't tell if something is happening right now in the moment. It can't determine if something is a future vision that you're visualizing for. And it can't tell if you're recalling something that happened to the past. All it knows is that it is responding to your thoughts. So as Mr. Wilkins was stating, he have intentionally gave his mind a purpose. Yep. And then he also told his feelings how to feel.
Yep.
And so now that you put yourself in that state of you gave your mind a purpose, you told your feeling how to feel. So now tell us about the action piece, right? Because a lot of people miss that part. And before you jump in, I just want to share this real quick. I've learned a long time ago that successful people make decisions very, very quickly and change them very, very slowly, if they even change them at all. Yeah. But unsuccessful people makes decisions very, very slowly. Let me talk to my pastor. Let me talk to my mama and them, and change their decision very, very quickly. Yeah. And my perspective, Mr. Wilkins, is that they don't have that vision. Mm-hmm. They don't believe it, and they just all over the place. So tell us about the action part.
The action part is the easy part. You get that feeling part, that thinking part down. You get that why down. You will take the action, because it's all about raising the bar in your life. BAR, belief first. Everything we've talked about today so far has been about the belief. You've got to increase that. Once that's increased, action will follow. Once action follows, results will come. So when a person is not happy with their results, they always run to their actions. I said, no. You skip the step. Go to your belief.
I love it. You know, I've learned, my wife and I, for a while back, we was studying and learning together, and then we came up with something similar. We call it a BEAR, BEAR. The BEAR is for that, the B is for that belief, the E is for the emotions, the A is for the action, and like you said, the R is for results. Yeah. So if you're not getting the results you prefer, like you said, oftentimes people go to the action. Well, when you go to the action, it might last a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two, but eventually that subconscious program is going to take over by default, and now you act in the same way you've done, and you're going to get the same results you've done. But to have that sustainable, intentional, permanent change and impact, you have to go back to that belief and be able to reprogram that belief. So as we're getting ready to close, sir, I want to move in the direction of having yourself in the middle of influence. How important it is to have, for people to be in a circle of influence.
It's everything. Because influence, you know, John C. Maxwell talks about what leadership is, and he talks about everything rises and falls on leadership. And he boiled leadership down to a word: influence. When you look at influence in terms of what's influencing you, you will begin to understand very clearly why you are where you are, and most importantly, why you believe what you believe. So influence is everything. You cannot, I tell people this all of the time, you cannot start attracting until you become attractive. I'll say that again. You cannot start attracting until you become attractive. How do you become attractive? The books you read, the audios you listen to, and the events you attend. Why? Because those things will cause you to start changing. That word change is an acronym, CHANGE. Choose happiness and never give excuses.
I'm going to steal that, sir, if that's okay.
Go forward.
So with that being said, sir, we get ready to wrap up. I have a blast. I'm myself going to be rewatching this over, taking me some copious notes. I had some things going on here. But tell us, Mr. Wilkins, how can people work with you? How can they get in touch with you? How can they connect with you?
Man, I'm on every platform there is to be on. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm probably still on MySpace. So anybody that's looking for me, you can find me, because it's no longer good enough in this modern way of business and world to be at the right place at the right time. We got to be in all the places at all of the times. And so connect with me there. For those of you that are looking for transformation in your mind, transformation in your belief, transformation in your life, whether it's for you as an individual or an institution, company, or whatever it is, I am looking forward to connecting with you, because I am assigned to people just like you.
Well, awesome. Well, there it is. Thank you, big bro, for coming on, man. It was a joy. I'm still excited. So listen, everybody, enjoy the rest of your day on purpose. And I mean that. God bless and good night, everyone.
That brings today's show to a close. Thank you for listening to the Private Lending Insider Podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to share it with a friend and subscribe. Please follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Randy the Private Moneylender. For continuing education and access to reliable private capital, visit ChamblissMortgageCapital.com. Until next time, choose to have a great day on purpose.